We are going to take a recess, but we're going to do it after y'all are done, okay? That's right. That's right.
Hi, my name is Randy Lewis. My husband and I are brand new residents of Bankers Run. And I was wondering if you could put the original plan back up there. I just like to put a little face to like process and how the decisions have kind of impacted people as it played out. We signed our contract in December of 2023. So under the original public offering statement, which said 265 homes,
Right.
with no mention of any potential increase in that. And it also had the 100 number for when the amenities would be available.
Yeah.
And so we spent a lot of time looking at lots, and unfortunately this is a bad one because of that. If there's another picture.
That baby feels. I know, she really has.
By the way, it was a Freudian slip earlier. It should have been exhaustively.
So we don't have numbers on here, but I think in looking at this, I'm really short. I apologize.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. I believe this is us right here. And so we're lot 223. We're at 29, 524, Daggerboard. We spent a lot of time looking at lots and deciding on one that was protected by a berm with a slight view of a pond. And we could see the clubhouse in the distance, but it was a small pool. There's not going to be a lot of activity going on there. But we were really careful to make sure we weren't near any light posts, and we didn't want a lot of noise. And so now, I just lost myself. Pickleball court's going to be right here, and we're going to hear the sound. This looks like a big barrier. It's not that tall. And there's some trees that have barely started growing. And so because we signed in December 2023, and we didn't settle until July of 2024, all this stuff in the background. Oh, I also want to point out that almost all of these homes are Ryan homes, which is NVR, not Insight. So all the people being impacted aren't Insight clients. And I guess that in having listened to the comments by their counsel, it seems like they're very dismissive of us not being their direct customers. I would argue that because they are the developer, that they have two levels of responsibility, a responsibility to their customers and then a responsibility to everyone. So everyone should have been involved. And you can't just dismiss like, well, I don't know how many people are under contract. It's like people like us, we're directly impacted by the first plan that came up, even, once the decision was made to put in pickleball courts, was going to be down in the new park. All of those people, even though it's around homes, all those people will know that they're buying next to a pickleball court. We didn't have that luxury. We even paid
So you weren't a part of the decision to vote on that?
No. As they said in their
Because
comments,
your
they
contract?
had no idea who was under contract with Ryan. There was a gap.
So that's the gap.
We weren't included
Okay.
in that process.
Okay.
And so anyone, if you put it back in its original location, none of those homes have been sold or even, they're not even there yet. You haven't approved them. So all those people will have the opportunity to know where the pickleball court's going to be and to make a decision whether they want to be next to it.
You know how many other
That's what I want to know. How many people were under contract that weren't aware?
people are subject to this?
So we're going to find out.
Because
We're going to find out. I think a few of them are here.
Yeah, because but it does raise the question they talk about, and I don't know how the rule of 51% applies, but it seems to me that, if it's not 51% of the original 265, then how do you decide what the 51 is? Because it could have been 11 and 6 of the 11 said okay to the new 91 homes. And now it's like 62 of 88, but like, how many others are there of us who didn't have notice of that when we signed our contract, who didn't get notified and have an opportunity to be part of the process?
I agree. Sounds like fuzzy math.
Yeah, and I think everyone understands and can sympathize and empathize with that. However, we can't do anything about that.
I understand,
okay?
but
what we can do, okay, is listen to your concerns and try to figure out a way that this doesn't impact you or doesn't impact you as much.
yeah, because like I said, we bought a lot not knowing about a pickleball court.
Yeah.
If you put it back in the original location, they will know and they can make the decision whether they want to be next to a pickleball court.
I understand that, and that is something that typically the commission is sensitive to, that when people are told and they lay their money down based on certain assumptions, that those assumptions really should not be changed. So we're aware of that.
And I really do appreciate y'all's time and the opportunity.
And we want to hear from the rest of the folks too, and see who else is in that boat with you, and then we will deliberate on that.
Well, thank you very much.
You're certainly welcome. Okay, who's next? Yes, sir, with the yellow shirt, you're about to explode. Come on up here. I don't want that mess all over this room, so.
Good afternoon. My name is Brad Nash. I live on Daggaport. We moved in June.
Show us which one's yours.
That's what I'm about to do. I don't know. Maybe this one. Yeah. Okay. We live right here. Oh, coincidentally, it was right there.
Okay.
Randy lives across the street here. This house is vacant. This house is built but vacant. All of these houses are vacant or not built.
Okay.
Artist conceptions.
Right.
There's a house here and here. Nothing exists here. So whoever voted was not in this proximity to where the pickleball court is. Plus,
Right.
we didn't know about it at all.
Right.
It's all blindsided, and then Insight
Right.
just decided, hey, let's put it there because there's no objections.
Okay.
You get the majority saying yes, and I just wanted to point out the proximity and the people that were living in those places.
Okay.
We knew nothing about it. We're blindsided.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir, in the purple shirt.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Parker Nolan. I am Randy Lewis's husband. We live at 29524 Daggerboard Court, our drive. I'm still getting
Right.
used to the address.
Live in the
I'm
same
moving.
house, right?
Yeah, pretty much,
Okay.
I think. I want to thank you all for the time that you are providing to us today to hear our concerns. You have my letter on file that I sent in to you, and it has been said that my characterization of Insight's legal troubles was a mischaracterization. It was not.
Here. Direct your attention to
It
us,
was not.
not to
But-
the applicant.
But what is a mischaracterization is their good faith effort to get 51% of the vote, which you've just heard a couple of people talk about. You heard Insight's counsel talk about how they didn't bother to really think about the people who were under contract while they were doing this process. In other words, they worked hard to take away our voice. They worked hard to take away our ability to say, yes, we want this, or no, we don't want this.
Now, I just want to interrupt you a second because, and I sympathize with that position, but what guides the 51% is our code, and you have to draw a line someplace. So the 51% doesn't talk about people who are under contract. It talks about, lot owners. It's one lot, one vote.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with that. But we closed on July 21st, so we were an owner of July 21st. They did not require a decision until July 30th. So there was an entire week we could have made a decision, and they did not provide the information to us. Allegedly, because the Homeowners Association, you had to go through a whole bunch of hoops to get into the HOA. You guys have heard the story 100 times. Our voice was purposely not heard, and that does not feel good. I will also tell you that I do have PTSD, and to be next to a pickleball court will be murder for me. It will be not pleasant. Finally, I would like to also tell you that one of the lovely things about Anchor's Run are the ponds and pools and the waterfowl and birds that come to bathe and sort of refresh themselves, right? Brad, who you just heard from, filmed an eagle in the pool behind his house, which may have a nest in the area that's being considered for expansion, because he filmed the eagle flying to the area.
You do know they're not protected anymore.
They are not protected. They are not an endangered species, but there are certain codes that do require the preservation of nests and eggs. Please, you are my voice today. I'm going to say, please vote no on this. Please deny the expansion, or at the very least, require a relocation of the pickleball courts. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, who's next? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, come on up. I see a hand over here. Somebody over here? No, okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Fred Bauer, and I live at 28080 Celestial Drive. I'm right around the corner from the three people that you've just heard from.
Which corner are you around?
As Parker stated, the previous gentleman, we also closed before the required completion of the survey. We closed on July 9th. Okay? Because of the HOA, we couldn't get access. So therefore, we were rightfully owners. We weren't under contract anymore.
Right.
And we were excluded. I will have no further comments about pickleball or any of that stuff. I have some other issues that I'd like to bring to your attention. We're pleased, we actually moved in on August 21st, and we're very pleased with the home that Ryan Homes built us. It was well conceived. Every commitment they made to us, they honored. Okay. The representations that were made, and before we signed a contract with Ryan, we talked to Inside Homes. We were considering an Inside Home. Thank God we didn't. And we found out that they were not 100% transparent. No mention was made of the expansion that we're discussing here today, yet the paperwork had already been filed with the Planning Commission. I don't think that that's particularly transparent. Okay. There have been many other misrepresentations made by Insight, including the construction of a swimming pool that was supposed to be completed before 100 permits were issued. As we just discussed, they're close to 159, still no swimming pool. Sprinkler system that would allow us to have green grass. The truth of the matter is that the sprinkler system comes on at odd times with days being skipped. It's walked around Anchor's Run.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. This is not your opportunity to tell us every bad thing that's happening in your development, okay?
Yes.
The issue is about this application that's in front of us. So I'm going to ask you to speed through the litany of complaints and tell us why you don't want this to happen.
For all these reasons, I urge you to reject this request until such time as Inside Homes can make good on all of their previous commitments to you and to the residents of Anchor's Run. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that. Duly noted. Okay, who's next? Yes, sir.
Sir, if you just real quick, if you hit the button on the bottom like
Yeah, I think it went off while we were there. We go.
I'm on? Good. Good afternoon, Perry Lara, 29518 Daggerboard Road. I don't want to be duplicative, but you've asked for a full record. My lot.
Yeah,
also on
please
Daggerboard.
do. Please show us where you are.
I am here.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
We all bought into this community with no mention of pickleball. So that's an amenity. We all decided this community was good enough with what it was offering without the pickleball courts.
Right.
It will absolutely disrupt the quiet enjoyment of the houses on Daggerboard and many others. My objection isn't against pickleball, but rather it should be located somewhere else where people have notice and either they decide to buy or they don't buy next to the courts. Alternatively, if you're not going to make that a condition of their approval, they need to at least be required to mitigate any sound with fencing that's known as in magazines. It's not too ugly and it's not terribly expensive. And with all respect to a speaker before, we shouldn't leave it to the players to self-police themselves with buying any new high-tech stuff with quieter balls and quieter paddles. The solution for mitigation is to put up some sort of fencing around it that mutes or muffles the sound. But again, that's alternatively. I strenuously suggest that as a condition of approval, the pickleball courts go somewhere else.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
All right, sir. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, who's next? Anybody else? Anyone else like to speak in opposition? Okay, going once, twice, one trip to a customer.